Hey there,
Dick
everyone.
nipples.
Oh my god, every time. You just never
Oh,
get into it.
I was late or early?
No, spot on. The time
No, you don't want a premature dick nipples.
You can watch the
You
replay.
don't.
Welcome everyone to another installment of Candlekeep Mysteries. This time we're heading into the Book of Cylinders adventure, which looks like a lot of fun. But before that, a couple of quick announcements. Firstly, once again, we are starting to give away, which we'll be doing. We're going to do it next week, I think. The next giveaway for. Oh, I'm getting all mixed up and tripped up. We have a giveaway coming up from Aeon Craft for another beautiful shirt. Check the details on our Discord for which shirt that will end up being. There's 2 up there being debated at the moment. Please check it out and vote for your favourite, for which will be available on a giveaway coming up in the next week or 2. Dan, what else we got coming?
We have very exciting. First off, thank you everyone for donating to Starlight Children's Foundation. Together we've raised $110, which is fantastic because as a part of the entire community, we've raised over $60,000 for Starlight Children's Foundation. So that's fucking awesome. I didn't say fucking, I said fucking.
Like a turducken, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And also very exciting, Jez and myself will be joining with Meeples and Dragons to stream with Ardent Roleplay for Jasper's Game Week, which is all about mental health awareness and suicide prevention. That'll be starting in May, kicking off the 15th of May. Jez, you'll be streaming on the 7 p.m. slot on the 17th, and I'll be streaming on the 20th at the 3:30 p.m. slot. Very excited for that. Very excited to play with some people who we haven't played with before in the Aussie TTRPG sphere. Super looking forward to that. Thank you for the subscription, Rascal King. Oh my god, with Prime, you didn't even have to spend money. I love you. Holy crap. Back to you, Jez.
Thanks, Dan. And on that note, don't forget anyone out there who wants to support our stream or any other amazing stream you like, you can do so with a subscription. With Amazon Prime subscription, you get 1 free subscription a month. Throw it to a stream of your choice, your favorites. And I'm sure they'll love you for it. All right, shall we jump into tonight's session? Small group this time as we jump back into Candlekeep Mysteries, episode 6, I want to say.
Asteria got fired. And Tania got fired. For gross...
Jez, your voice is lower compared to the others.
I know, I have a new mic set up and it needs to be further adjusted because... Bear with me, I'll try and turn the volume and gain and stuff up. Hopefully that's a fraction better.
It's not Rage and Rolls without issues.
Okay. Okay.
Give us your best ASMR, Jez.
Nope.
Test the mic.
We'll see.
It's not what this channel is about yet.
It really isn't. What if I just turn everyone else down a little bit? So we're all even again.
Oh, there's an echo. There it is.
There was an echo. Okay, so having returned from adventures looking for... in the Temple of the Restful Lily and trying to recover someone who went missing there, defeating a few hags, the Candlekeep Detective Agency have collected some bounty from the Avowed of Candlekeep and found their way back to the local inn where they found some place to set up a pseudo kind of office there, some kind of establishment where you're able to be found if necessary. You presently find yourself at this inn. It is about 10 in the morning as you've returned from the Restful Lily. And you find yourself at this place. The tavern itself, or the inn itself, is not overly busy right now. You see a couple of characters sitting around, and the owner walking around as well. Is there anything you'd like to discuss?
Finnery is currently starting his work on his memoir. It's called CDA, the seediest of detective agencies. As Gary and Bonnie sit with him, he'll occasionally stop to have a sip of his ale or a bite of his bacon, but that's about it.
I
So-
take a cheeky peek at some of the pictures that Finry has drawn in there and asked if that's really appropriate for a child's novel.
It's not going to be a child's novel. Like, if you read it, like,
It's clearly
okay.
It's clearly written at a level for a child.
I think it's pretty good. It's my first attempt. It's the first draft, okay? So, like, it'd take a couple of drafts before I can send it out to any publishers. But just for you, Gary, I'll just read out the first paragraph. It's also, just for context, it's written from my perspective. It was a dark and stormy night. And that's about as far as I've gotten. And then we have, well, that's a Dick and Balls. That's also a Dick and Balls. And then there's some boobs.
Is this like an embellishment of events that have already happened, or are you like setting yourself some personal challenge goals?
Well, it's not really an embellishment, Bonnie, if it's true.
Well, I didn't see any dick and balls on our last adventure, so.
Oh, I saw a lot.
Tell
I
the truth.
too
I think
much.
Oh,
Gary with the towel and the pool incident. It may have been.
maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
There was a lot. Actually, I need to write an entire chapter just on the science behind Gary growing one of his balls back.
Moving right along. Beer, barkeep, beer, breakfast beer.
Oh,
Breakfast beer?
Yeah,
Well, just 1, 2.
yeah, three would be good. And then what do you guys want?
I
Yeah,
think
no.
Henry mentioned a dark and stormy before. So I
Dark
think
and stormy?
dark and stormy it is.
I can do that for you, sir.
Do you have espresso martinis? If there's one thing that I definitely need, it's more caffeine in my system to get very lively.
Look, I know how you operate. I think I can get creative with some coffee beans and something else. Give it some kick. I'll be right back.
All right.
And he
Well-
hurries off.
Well, team CDA, you guys are still around, surprisingly.
Live.
Well, to be fair, I
Alive.
didn't really have
Gotcha.
anywhere else to go.
Well, yeah, that's also fair. That's kind of the reason I stuck around. But okay, we need to talk like next steps. Okay, do we expand the business? Do we, keep it small and humble? Like, what do you both think?
Dental plans.
Well, if you have milk, it's good for your teeth, and if you brush your teeth, that's even better. And flossing and stuff, that's also good for your teeth. If you keep that up,
It sounds like a good plan.
it is. Now, for other people's teeth, we would probably have to get a job so you could collect those other people's teeth, Gary.
Keep in the spares.
Yeah, exactly.
As you have this banter around the dental plans and benefits for the business, the door opens behind you all, up in the distance, and you see a dragonborn step in, looking a bit timid, and looks around and spots you all. Sort of gently walks up, a little bit nervous, and she clears her throat. You see in her arms is a green book, and she says, "I'm sorry, but please forgive the interruption. My name is Pelk, and I speak for the Avowed. You're adventurers, right? Are you not? The CDA, I think you've been going by?"
Yes, we are those people, potentially, depending who's asking. If you're a tax collector, it's not us. It was those people who just left.
No, nothing of that nature. I was wondering if I might be able to ask for your assistance.
Do we know anything about the Avowed?
Yeah, the Avowed are like the librarians that maintain Candlekeep. You've met many of them in your adventures through Candlekeep.
Oh, we do assistance for money.
I'm sure. And this one is... Look, there's a big issue we need to face here, and I really need some help. So, as you may or may not know, Candlekeep has long relied on a community of grippli to the north for fresh seafood. These frog folk capture and raise giant crabs as livestock in an offshore cluster of pens that they have erected just outside their village. Then they trade the meat and other salvageable parts for items that they can use, particularly those made of metal or glass. Now, Candlekeep has long been a steady customer of these grippli, but over the last several 10 days, the grippli have become less and less active, and the supply of our fresh seafood has been all but cut off. To make things worse, rumors have arisen about strange serpent creatures being seen near the Cloak Wood and the Grippli village.
Are you guys pescatarian?
Well, it doesn't have to be pescatarian, Bonnie. Like, seafood's pretty nice. Have you ever had...
No, I feel like there's other options. Like...
Yeah,
I know, but have you ever... in these parts, and we thrive on it.
Bonnie, have you ever had a California crab roll? They are delicious. I think...
What's a California?
Oh, I don't know. It's somewhere to the west coast or east coast, depending where you are situated, of here. And it's got like crab eggs and rice and it's wrapped in seaweed. It's pretty delicious.
Isn't a California crab roll one of those times that you've paid for overnight company and you roll them in a blanket?
Okay, so I think
Lost in translation?
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, but we should keep this PG, at least for now. Gary, we'll talk about this later.
So, is that something you can help us with? I'm having trouble following what you're talking about right now.
Sorry,
Yes.
Are you propositioning us for a California crab roll?
No, we need help getting the seafood back into Candlekeep. Yes?
I mean,
No?
Oh, I just said yes. Money.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
More money for Gary's dental plan.
Bonnie. Like, I understand you're keen, but you haven't been with us for that long. Like, I am the decision maker of this
I've been here like
CDA.
a whole hour and I'm so bored.
Yes, no, I understand. But first, we must talk monetary compensation for time. And then there's expenses and there's a whole...
Because if we don't get no rolls of cash, we don't get no California rolls. So, yeah, exactly.
Exactly, whether that be sushi or sexual favors.
What's sushi?
Look, let's just make this simple. I've been given the okay to offer 200 gold to anyone that can help be part of this, getting this trade back and operating again.
So 2,000 gold. Wow.
No, 200 gold per person that is participating in.
Oh, the per person bit was an important little ditty you left off there.
Yes.
Can we do the yes now?
You know what? After careful consideration and discussion amongst my peers, I think that this sounds like a situation that the CDA is uniquely positioned to accept.
Fantastic! And you see her grab this large book out of her cloak. And she says, this particular book was brought to Candlekeep several years ago. The explorers who found it claimed it was not a historical text, but a warning. My superiors have given me the okay to show it to you. And she hands
Okay,
you.
and
Yep.
what was your name? Sorry, I keep writing down
Apologies.
Dragonborn for my memoir, but I think that's very unpersonable.
Yes, yes, it would be. It's like me calling you small human, a small
Definitely not a human,
halfling.
and
Sorry.
I'm actually pretty tall for a halfling.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
kind of reconsidering right now.
My name is Pelk.
Pelk.
Is that with a K
Pelk,
or a
It is with a
C?
K.
Pelk, the rude
Pelk.
dragonborn. Pelk, the rude dragonborn.
Well, let's not split hairs here.
Well,
Has Pelk read a contract where it requires a 10% deposit before any sort of engagement?
Pelk has not read such contracts. No.
I rip a page out of the notebook that I quickly scrawled on to get the contract pretty much that explains that any issues that arise from the city as involvement are not our own, and they are any issues or property damage or loss of life are covered by the person hiring us to do the mission.
Look, I'll get my superiors to review that, but in the meantime, if we can get started on re-establishing this trade route with our seafood, I hardly see there being much to be broken on the way or destroyed. I mean, we just want to get you to go and see what's happening with these grippli.
You've met Henry before.
Yeah, no, so you just have to sign down here right now, and then you have hired us, and we can do this for you.
Well, yes, I've been sent here to hire you for this particular errand. So yes,
Yep.
yes.
Cool.
And
I mean,
without-
it's important before anyone else comes and engages us for our time. And as part of that engagement, maybe they pay the 10% deposit, and we're obliged to fulfill that piece of work. And if you haven't signed, then we're not formally engaged here.
I don't think
So
I've
you
met
need to
you
sign
yet, so
right now.
Yep.
That's
Or
Gary.
We could
Gary.
get hired by someone else, and that.
Okay, give me the paperwork. Give me the paper. Quick,
Yeah,
quick.
hand over the paperwork.
And you see Pill quickly, not even really read it in detail, hardly make out your scrawl that you've already made down, and she signs it quickly. And
Fantastic. Because what that also included in that contract was also included.
Get the dog out. Let's go.
What that also included in the contract was success or failure on hire. We are still to be paid the entire amount that was promised at the beginning. So
I feel like you're amending this as you go.
it was.
You're
Gary
making
was
this up as you go
thinking,
along, Dan.
That's literally how D&D's played. So.
And you see Pelk, she's like, was it 10%? You said, Gary? And she's like, 2, 4, 6, and she drops a small pouch of 60 gold on the bench, on the table in front of you.
Finnery immediately snatches it up. Okay, well, we are ready to partake in your quests. We will henceforth be prepared for this starting first thing in the morning.
Okay, well, fantastic. Now, here's that book. I mean, I encourage you to figure it out. We really haven't had much time to look at this or much need to look at this particular book. But when she hands it to you, you find it's fairly light. Yes, but yes, please head into the library. Ask for Pelk when you get back, and we will finish and complete this contract. And I'll take this and get reviewed while you're away.
Very well. Okay, I will, as soon as she walks away, I'll take the book. I'll give 10 gold to Gary and Bonnie because Finnery doesn't understand maths.
Oh, wait, what?
Well, we'll start with this. Don't forget, we need to start saving up for an actual business front here. Front being the operative term. But
I'm just gonna
I think,
write down how much gold you took and how much you got.
Henry already does not remember how much gold he took.
Times 40. So
Um,
I have a question. Like the seafood thing, did they not seem like over keen to like? Do you think like the seafood is laced with like drugs or like?
well, I've
She
never.
seems like she was
you think it might be
clamoring for a steak.
seafood?
Yeah.
Personally, I have never seen someone so adamant about an entire group of people getting crabs. Which does raise some concerns, because they didn't ask for combs, like small combs. So
maybe we should like use our kitty to buy a comb for just in case.
exactly, Bonnie, I'm so happy you stayed around because that's exactly what I was thinking about.
You're debating. The innkeeper comes over with three. Was it one beer and two dark and stormies or whatever the combination was, and he puts them down on the table. He's like, "There
He's
you
a
go.
pretty shit waiter if you can't remember.
3 drinks. There you go."
Gary, we can't afford the good places yet, but soon.
We're in the money.
Actually, I've also part of the reason I have this money is to start getting someone to print out business cards so that our renown can grow and more people will then hire us, and more money, and then we can get more underlings and they can do all the work, and then we don't have to do anything.
You could do like advertising signs on the bounty boards too.
Yeah. Got a
Just
problem?
maybe not too many penises.
Oh shit. Fuck. But
A tasteful codpiece might be okay, but like you don't want to have the whole cock and balls out there.
okay, so like a cock and balls but sheathed.
Yeah, but it has to be like. I hear me out. I think like you've got this banner at the top of like the CDA, and then a
Yep.
picture of you, and
Yep.
then for your I don't know detective or crime solving problems, and it's just
Fade
Yeah.
to black while we.
Yeah. Whilst we discuss actual designs for our crest for the CDA.
And as the innkeeper puts the drinks down, he's like, "Oh, the interesting looking whatever. That one of those Avowed just put on the table there. What's all that about?"
It's
How
a
do
book.
you know about the Avowed?
They kind of run this place.
Okay, that's fair. Oh yeah, we have
It's a book, and it's for reading. And if you'd like to do some reading, you can go to the library too. And I'm sure they'd let you borrow your own books. But this one's ours.
What's this one about?
I don't know. We
Well-
haven't read it yet.
Oh,
Or if you really want to know, you can hire the book from us
No, we
for an
need.
agreed upon
no,
price.
no, that's fine. It's fine. I'm merely making conversation. To your own. And he turns and walks back
shit.
to his counter.
Did you say it feels light? Does that mean it's deceptively large but doesn't carry the weight of that? Or is it just a really thin book?
How are you checking this? Just visually? Or-
Eyeballing it.
It looks like it's like if you look at it side on where the pages should be, not really pages. It's more like blocks of wood.
What?
All right. So, guys, I think we should do Rochambeau, which is Elvish for rock, paper, scissors, to see who gets to open the book.
Oh, can I do it?
I've already lost one game tonight.
I opened the last one.
You
Maybe it could
did,
be my
and
thing.
we went on a very fun adventure. Well, it could be your thing, but it was also my thing before you were here. So,
Well, then you do
I
it.
thi-
You can have a turn.
well, I think it's only fair if we do Rochambeau, which is again Elvish for rock, paper, scissors, to see who wins. So the winner of this one gets to open the book. All right. I will rely on the narrator to then
Okay.
count us in.
You're gonna do a rock, paper, scissors, are you? Okay. Here we go.
Rochambeau, as the elves call it. Thank you very much.
All right. On three. One. No, you can start your 1, 2, 3 on three. 1, 2, 3.
That did not work very well.
It
I
worked.
didn't ever see.
You both
You
made
go.
scissors. Go.
Scissors, paper, rock.
Oh, that's cheating. Last one, or you forfeit, Henry.
Gary, are you in?
Are we doing a best of?
Yeah, best
Hey,
of.
hey.
Okay, all right. Scissors, paper, rock.
What?
He wins.
Ooh.
Oh, Gary
wins.
wins.
Gary gets to open the book.
All right.
It's the ninja hands.
That's
Okay.
monk shit. That's
Yeah.
monk shit.
It's monk shit, this book. I opened the book.
So while Finnery and Bonnie are sitting there trying to figure out how Rochambeau works, and Gary just reaches over, grabs the book, and opens it. It's like a wooden box, and just opens it. And inside,
Why was the last note I took say book is a warning? And then I think something else happened.
Yeah. Because what Pelk said was the explorers who found this book claimed it was not a historical text, but a warning. You open it up, and inside you see 3 small cylinders about the size of, for lack of a better term, a sausage roll. And a small leather pouch with the symbol of a water drop on it. Now these 3 cylinders look like they're all engraved with different markings around their entire area.
Like a code cylinder. Like a combo lock?
Well, not really. Like
Like a
hieroglyphs,
water bottle.
like hieroglyphs on a water bottle, I guess. But nothing moves about it.
Hieroglyphs on a sausage roll.
Here we go. That's the visual I was going for.
Do these cylinders sound or appear solid or hollow? Might
Give me
tap one on the table.
make a perception check.
Can I assist with that?
Sure.
Because I would be upset that I lost to Bonnie because I thought that I was the best at Rochambeau, or as the old call it, rock, paper, scissors.
So with
so I would be-
advantage.
Yeah, with your 19. 19, you're able to figure out that a couple of taps that these are 3 solid pieces of wood. Looking at each end, it's solid. There's no openings. There's no way to unlatch or open them. You just have the 3 solid pieces of cylinder and a small bag of something. And on the leather on the bag, you can see a symbol of like a water drop.
Oh, maybe it's a physics puzzle. Are there any lids with the cylinders?
Any lids? No.
Yeah,
just
does it look?
What is in the leather pouch with the same insignia on it?
Do you open it and have a look, or pour it out, or what do you do?
I'll have a very
your hand in?
gentle look. I'll have a very gentle look after seeing the insignia on the thing that Gary was playing with. I'll have a very cautious look.
You carefully open the pouch and getting some light into the bag. You can see it just looks like dried out clay.
Can I do an arcana check on it?
Go for it, absolutely.
Sweet. Hopefully that comes across. That's a 7.
From what you can tell, these items hold no magical properties.
Well, they don't look like they've got any magic whatsoever. They should be fine, and no one will have any problems whatsoever.
For dried clay, it seems like maybe add some water.
Yeah, I was literally just thought of that too.
We know that Gary's the brains of the outfit. There's no need
This is very
to
true. I'm the
ride on my coattails.
charisma. I'm the charisma. So, all right, I will wee in the bag. No, I won't wee in the bag. Well, Gary, if you want to give up some of your dark and stormy,
I'm just wondering if we should avoid doing it inside.
It's not our inn.
I just have images of like clay golem or some shit.
well, I know this pub does have a thing about taking the glasses outside. So if we do take it outside, it means I will be peeing in this pouch.
Or we've got water skins, no?
Yeah,
You
standard
guys have
D&D adventuring gear.
you guys have water skins?
Yeah. Are you one of those people that drinks their own pee because it's sterile and you like the taste?
Oh no! That's my cousin. I just
Pete
don't
Evans.
carry a water skin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, his name rhymes with rump. He just really likes pee for some reason.
Yeah, I kind of prefer not to combine pee with the quest item.
Yep. Okay. All right. So, did we want to try and take some of the ice from the dark and stormy, and we can put that in it and then run outside, or? All right.
That sounds like a
we do
solid
that.
plan.
Okay.
We do that.
Could be a whole lot of nothing.
So you're running outside with some ice and this stuff.
Yeah.
Ice. Okay, love it. You collect some ice out of, straight out of the glass because ice was the thing, and bolt out with the bag and the 3 cylinders into the mid-morning sun streaming down in the Candlekeep courtyard. Now what?
You put the ice in the pouch.
Put the ice in the pouch. Okay, you put the ice in the pouch. You give it a bit of a shake. Have another peek. Some of the ice is obviously melted, making a kind of mud substance.
Maybe you could paint
think-
the mud onto the cylinders in the same shape as the symbol that's on the bag.
Bonnie, I'm so glad you stayed around because my idea was to throw the clay on the ground. So that's a much better idea than what I would have had.
With the 3 cylinders,
Mm.
are the markings consistent for each cylinder, but different for each cylinder? Kind of like Fifth Element. Each one has its own unique suite of markings, or are
Yes, they are all unique in what they look like. Yes.
they? And is anything else elemental about these cylinders?
How do you mean?
Well, the bag
No.
featured a water droplet. Nothing looks fire-ish, earthish.
Nothing else like that. I mean, if you're looking at these cylinders, it looks like they're covered in hieroglyphs, or the equivalent of.
And it's not a language that we recognize?
No, it is not a language you recognize.
You know what, guys? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's draw these things on a wall and see what the fuck happens. Because you know what? We're the CDA. We don't back down from no challenge.
Just-
We are.
So let me back up on that for a second, Bonnie. What are all the languages you guys are proficient in? Rather than flicking through this character
I've
sheet.
got Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Sylvan.
Okay. Gary?
Uh,
Or Henry?
I'm common halfling and thieves' cant.
Okay.
Where do they keep this on the character sheet?
On the left-hand side, when you scroll down on the first page, you should be able to see it underneath your tools and
Oh,
your
there we go.
weapons and stuff.
Common and gnomish.
Okay. So as you're looking around at this stuff outside, Bonnie, you take a closer look, and some of these pictographs, I guess, start to look a bit like a strange form of Dwarvish.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna take a closer look. What do I make out?
Well, it's
Gonna
hard
do-
to read given they're all wrapping around in circles right now. But if you can
Oh,
somehow...
Oh, I've got an idea. I'm gonna take out one of the canvas pieces and spread it out on the ground and get that clay shit and put it on the thing and then roll it out so it like stops it from being wrapped around and it's all flat and stuff.
I love that you're using like a cursed canvas to do this. Okay. So you lay out the canvas, you pour out this mud and sort of smush it out into like this flat area. You take one of the cylinders almost at random. You're guided towards one particular one, and you roll it out like a rolling pin onto this mud. And as you're sitting there taking a closer look at it, it starts to make some kind of sense. And what you're able to make out is that you can see how a particular grippli folk, which are frog folk, how they develop skills in harvesting giant crabs, and how they go about loading those onto seagoing vessels, and they're taken away, while the frog folk, you see them celebrating their newly earned wealth.
Okay.
You repeat with the other two?
I'll try my best.
Okay.
So it looks like this, I speak a little bit of Dwarvish, and I'm not really that good at it. So from what I can kind of make out from the dirt sludge, this kind of dictates how the frog people, sorry if that's racist, frog people, develop their crab harvesting skills. And then it kind of like shows them celebrating the fact that they're now wealthy because they learned those skills. So I guess it kind of tells a bit of a story.
So it's one part crab training manual and one part history of the Gripplis. They do have a name. I don't think it's racist.
They don't like being called toadies. I know that for a fact.
I'm interested to know why you know that, Gary, but...
I'm going to write that first part down.
Grippli.
Toady.
Why Grippli,
No.
though?
Gary,
Is it because they got
no.
sticky fingers? Like grip?
Makes sense.
Now, I'm interested in that this was flagged as not a historical text. It was a warning.
Okay, well...
So with that all seems very historical.
Maybe the crab people are rising up to take vengeance against the Gripplis for harvesting their people for so long.
Shit, crab people. It's always crab people.
I'll get you with the pincers.
Shit, South Park was right. Well, what happens when you write out the... roll out the other ones?
I don't know.
You take the second one, you roll it out, and this one tells a story that begins with serpent creatures that seem to be lurking outside a Grippli village. Then you see that these serpent folk rush forth, capturing or killing any of these frog folk who try to stand against them. And the village, as you see it, the story play out, falls into disarray. The giant crabs they've been harvesting from their previous story, you kind of recognize. You see them escape from their cages and start to get themselves back into the sea.
How big are these crab things?
It's very hard to tell size from these pictographs because everything looks about the same size.
Okay.
They do describe them as giant, so I don't think they're small.
So this one sort of talks about those serpent creatures. I believe Pelk actually mentioned them when she gave us the job in the description, that there'd been sort of talk of serpent creatures in the crux of what we're investigating. And it talks about them like lurking outside a village and then coming in and massacring all the frog people. And then the village, obviously it falls into disarray because that's what happens when you have a bunch of things come in and kill all the other things. And then all the crabs escape back into the ocean. So
Okay,
maybe the serpents were like liberating the crabs.
Or the serpent people seeing that the frog people, Gripplis, were...
You said it too!
I'm sorry. So maybe the serpent people saw the Gripplis had a resource that they were after that made them a lot of wealth, and the serpent people were like, why would we work to, have the same thing when we could just take what the Gripplis have? And so they invaded and took over.
But then all of the crabs disappeared back into the ocean. Wouldn't you keep the crabs?
Maybe
Well-
they were over harvesting the crabs,
Oh, maybe.
Maybe
and these were the serpent people's favorite delicacy, or even staple.
or the crabs migrated from this place of warfare and torment, then moved up closer to where the serpent people are, and then they were able to harvest the crabs themselves.
Is there a specific word on there for what the serpent creatures are, like a species or anything like that?
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
Can
Where's
I
my
assist?
Or would it be an intelligence check? DM's same.
Don't know.
Can I assist, because I would be thinking as well, like from
Oh,
my
hang on.
knowledge.
Too late. I rolled.
That'll
No take
do.
backsies.
Whatever the case may be, you're able to piece together, and you've seen these kind of symbols before. And thinking back, you remember they represent yuan-ti.
Oh, yuan-ti. Those things are not good.
They're not, or is it just the ones that you've met are bad?
No, I think generally they're just crap. Yeah.
What does the third scroll cylinder thing say?
Come up to the baking station.
I feel like we've got 2/3 of the way through the DM monologue.
You drop another
more to
ice
come.
cube into the mix and rub it around so it all dissolves in the sunlight. Make it a bit more muddy. You roll the third cylinder out, and in this one you can see that it briefly tells about the aftermath of the serpent folks' assault. You see that the village is now shown as being vacant, and that most of the buildings there appear flattened. Still standing in the story is the Grippli's temple to their deity, which looks like it's been overtaken or taken over by these snake creatures.
Oh, maybe that was their whole goal in the first place. So in this one, it looks like there's no more frog people in the village, and that the snake...
Gripplis. Gripplis, please.
Oh, yes,
Bonnie.
okay, all right.
We've talked about
okay.
this,
Well,
okay.
It's just learning new nouns. They just don't stick. Okay, so the Gripplis no longer in the village, and the yuan-tis are in their temple, and it's the only building that they've actually kept erected. All of the other ones, they're flattened.
Right, so we blow up the temple.
Well, I would suggest that the temple would probably be a really good place to use as a first point of investigation, or, scouting it out and seeing what's going on there.
How recent these cylinders look?
I
Are
don't know.
they aged, ancient, or are they relatively fresh? Because it was the last couple of 10 days that supply lines have shut down, right?
That's right. So you're thinking back to the conversation with Pelk. Over the last several 10 days, the Grippli have become less and less active. You also remember her saying that this book itself was brought to Candlekeep several years ago.
So this either feels like a prophecy or a history repeating itself kind of deal.
Or a trap.
It's a trap.
As you're standing there, like poring over this stuff on the ground you've created, this chap, in his big sailor-type boots, the whole sort of pirate-looking outfit, comes standing up beside. He goes, "Oh, what's this you've got here? This looks quite interesting."
Hello, sailor.
"Oh, no. My name isn't Sailor. My name's Meetle Jans. And you are?"
Oh, I am Finnery, lead investigator of the CDA, the Candlekeep Detective Agencies.
Oh, yes.
And I'll flick out a business card.
"Oh, yes, I know of you. I've heard of you lot before."
This magical artifact just came into our possession, and we're looking to offload it for a measly sum of 1,000 gold pieces.
Magical artifact? This thing
Yes.
right here?
Yes.
No, this is an old children's toy. But I can see some of these things look familiar. You're heading up the coast.
Are you buying magical artifacts?
No, I'm not buying magical artifacts. I have no interest in that. I'm here for the seas.
The seas?
Well, I'm a sailor here.
I carry several.
What?
Chlamydia, kleptomania.
The sea,
Crabs.
the ocean, the open sea, open sea
Oh.
water.
Oh,
But
Yeah, we're heading potentially up the coast to the toadies. I mean
the toadies?
the frogs, the
Gripplis.
gripplies.
Oh, the grippli. Oh, yes, they don't like
Yes.
being called the toadies. No.
perchance is your ship known as the Railroad?
Uh, not today, kind sir, but that's not a bad name for a ship. If you want to
No,
be
it's
taken
not.
in the right direction.
Is it called
Yes.
the tight leash?
Well, I do believe we are headed up that way. I'm sure we can secure our own transport for not even a fee. Although, if you were heading up that way and it wouldn't be a bother, I'm sure we can work something out.
Well, I'm leaving port tomorrow. Head up the coast. That's on my way where I'm going. I'll be staying at the inn here just to replenish my sleep. Get a night's rest with myself and my crew. And then I'll be leaving here tomorrow, heading that way. Happy to take you
Oh.
for a small fee.
What is that fee?
Well, it's just 2 gold per person.
What if I pay for your night stay, a and we call it even?
That is most hospitable of you, and I'm absolutely
Hospitable?
hospitable. That's right. We say that out in the seas.
That's dwarvish, isn't it?
That's I'm going to take you up on that offer. So that's just a 4 gold. And if I wanted to take the other 2 with you,
Oh no, that was for all of us.
so so you're going to give myself and all my crew board and accommodation at the inn?
Oh no, just you.
Let me get this straight. You want me to take the 3 of you wherever it is you want to go in exchange for 1 night's rest? For one
We
person?
do offer really sweet protective services. I've heard the seas have been a little bit tricky of late, with all the serpents around and stuff.
And
I
quite
have
nice
not
massages.
Well,
Can I roll a persuasion? Or like a deception? Can I roll a deception?
you can absolutely roll a deception check for that.
Can I assist with just being
Oh,
like
that's another
massages
12.
and all of the other fine services that the CDA offer will also make it worth your while.
Do we offer messages?
I feel like this is like a
Roll.
confusion roll you need to roll. Yeah, roll with advantage because now he's like, what the hell? So give us that
Yeah.
again.
All right. Okay. I'll do that again. Oh, that's worse.
It's worse, but it's so on brand.
With your 12, he looks at you, Bonnie. He's like, lass, you look like you haven't seen a day of the sea in your life.
Well, that may be true, but I do have bagpipes.
You do have bagpipes. I can see them.
They make people feel just as terrible.
Well, each to their own, I say. But look, if you do want to head up the coast, I'll be here tomorrow. Like I said, for
1 gold per person.
2 gold per person, and we'll be on our way.
All right.
I'm
Take it.
immediately going to investigate, like, where there could possibly be snakes that I can buy to secret on his ship. For when we're, like, on there tomorrow, because we'll probably end up on there. And then I'm just going to, like, I'm planning on like secreting them in places so that they come out while we're sailing. And
I turn to Gary and I'm like, okay, actually, I think until we get a bit more renown, we may have to actually pay our way a little bit as we go.
There's these things called influences, and maybe if we, include it in your storybook for children, that
Right.
that we take brands and we say that the shipping company was very, very hospitable. And
Yes. Actually, that sounds very much similar to Bonnie. Bonnie.
yeah.
Bonnie.
Snake hunting.
Snake hunting.
We'll get to that in a second.
That was Finnery before he was investigator. All right. Well, Gary, I think we're gonna go up the coast. Have you sailed on ships before?
many a times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you an old hand at that? You know your way around a ship?
I'm an old hand at many forms of travel.
Okay. And how are you if we get attacked by pirates? Yeah.
That's standard operating procedure, right?
Okay. All right. What's that? And I point behind you. And if he turns to go pow, I'm going to slap him on the back of the head.
Okay. Then
It's not an if.
you've just done it?
I go pow. I also yell pow.
And
Hang on.
then as soon as he turns, I just slap him on the back of the head.
Make a deception check, Finnery, to see if you get
Okay.
tricked by this. And Bonnie, you give me a perception check to see if you can find any kind of store which is selling.
Bonnie or Gary? Wait, what?
Wait. Oh no. So you give me a perception, and Gary, give me a perception check as well. Oh, what's your passive perception?
Where do you find passive?
Down the left-hand side of your character sheet on D&D Beyond as well.
In senses. Under saving throws.
Please hold, because it's not on the Foundry.
Oh, over there.
Oh, it's on D&D Beyond, yeah.
Passive perception. Here it is. 13.
13. You don't see this coming. It's just a bit too quick for you as Finnery calls out this distraction. You turn around and cop a smack in the back of the head.
Gary, you need to be more focused. If I'm going to rely on you when we're out there in the wilds fighting snake people, you need to be head on a swivel. You need to be ready.
Subtitles. Gary will remember that.
And Bonnie, with your 8 there, you look around, you see all sorts of weird and wonderful stalls there, but nothing which looks like it's selling any kind of imitation of a snake.
Oh no, I want real snakes.
All real snake. Any kind of snake-like creature.
I'm just gonna. Can I start asking?
Sure, you can ask around.
I'll be like, hey, my boss is really interested in expanding his portfolio in places you don't really want to talk about so much in public. So I'm here scouting it out, not really saying exactly what it's for, but you can kind of catch what it's for. Wink. Got any snakes? Know anywhere that's got any snakes?
You see, as you're doing this, kind of calling out to 3 or 4 shops in front of you, one of them, as you do, got any snakes, kind of turns an eye and calls you over.
Oh, goody.
It's snakes you're after, is it?
Yeah.
Why? Do you mean eating snakes? No.
No,
Not my
nobody
business to
really
know.
ever wants to know why someone needs snakes.
Is it poisonous snakes you're after?
Oh no, I just want lots of little wriggly ones that would probably just teach someone a lesson.
Behind this merchant's head, Gary minor illusions of Python curled up in like the recesses of the stall, slowly just appearing above his head. Out of his peripheral vision, though.
Okay, so we can't quite see it yet. It's like, I like the way you think. Give me 1 second. And he just bends down, straight down, rummages around beneath the shelves in front of him, and he pulls out a small jar about this big, full of 5 or 6 like snakes about 4 inches long, all wriggling around each other.
Yeah.
These
Okay.
I tend to use or sell for baits. I'm sure you can find another creative use for them.
And when was their last meal? Because you don't want to take snakes that are too hungry, and you just you got to take care of your snakes.
I feed my snakes once a week.
Okay.
3 days ago.
Oh, okay, that's perfect. How much?
How many would you like? Just the one?
All of them.
All of them. So 1 silver snake, that's 5 silver.
Oh, that's perfect. And I hand him the money.
Oh boy, he gives you a jar of 5 snakes.
You are the best. Just delightful. Thank you so much.
You didn't find them here.
Oh, definitely not. That's not sinister at all, and I'm totally satisfied with my sale. Thank you.
Fantastic. Take care now. Bye-bye.
That took a turn. I'm just going to ignore it. It's probably fine.
And as he sort of turns to count and put his silver away, he sees his massive python in front of him. He's like, ah! Starts jumping away, running away from his stand a bit to get about 10 feet away from it, looking terrified.
Poof. It disappears.
He's looking around
I'm gone.
where
I'm
did it go? You see him
I'm gonna
continue to
tuck
look
them
around.
secretly in
Figure
my
eight.
bag.
Fury waits at the dorms until Gary and Bonnie rock back up, and then when they do, he just looks at Bonnie and he's like, "Where's that sound coming from?"
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, just to let you know, you may have what's referred to in the medical community as a loose anus, and it's just continuously passing gas. You need to check it, get it checked out.
Or counter offer. I could just buy a bottle of wine and get a cork.
I like this idea mostly because I want to see how that plays out.
Oh god.
And then Finra goes upstairs to bed.
Yeah. Should we sleep this one off? We've got a long ship ride ahead.
Yeah, so you'll head
Well,
back to the
we'll have to meet him in the morning because we didn't actually agree to, we would do it.
Room and
We
board.
agreed after he left, but we can go and meet him in the morning to do that.
Okay.
And Figure will stay up a little bit longer to continue his story, his memoir. After he was a dark and stormy night.
Oh, are there many patrons in the tavern now that it's getting towards
Yeah.
night?
You see the Mittel Jans and his about 10 or so crew all sitting around having a few drinks and a bit of a laugh.
All right, I'm gonna get out my bagpipes before I go to bed and do a bagpipe performance. And
Oh boy.
internal me really wants it to be bad to make them feel really seasick and awful. But if I get money for it, then that's good too, I guess.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick out my hat.
Okay.
And be
So
like,
are you making I'm sorry, you used to try.
I'll make a performance. Yeah, I'll make a performance check today.
Are you making a big scene of this?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah. I'll be like, and ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to what is it? The performance of a lifetime. You will never have anything that has so rumbled your belly and make you feel so weak at the knees. And I get out these bagpipes and go, "Arr!"
As you kind of given that intro with your roll of 28, all the crew of sailors, in fact, everyone in the inn, all sort of goes a bit of a hush quiet. They all stop and turn. They're all turning around. Everyone's facing you with this grand kind of scene you've created.
What time? Is this dinner time? Are we likely to be around?
Yeah, you guys would still be around at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
After the first performance, Gary walks past the hat, and again minor illusions quite a handful of coins into the hat.
Okay.
And claps and makes a big deal of the. That was incredible. Do any other patrons?
I'm gonna start doing a jig while I'm like.
So as soon as you get it started up, because bagpipes are a doozy to get started, they always sound amazing. Yeah. The whole audience is ready and primed for this amazing performance you kind of get them up for, and then you start the bagpipes, and they're all like, "Oh God, what is that right?" And you see Mitor saying, I told you you're making it up." And then you get it going. You get this tune going, and then they're all looking around each other, and they all start getting going. The sea shanties are going in bagpipe form, and they're all clapping along. Your first song finishes, and there's a massive uproar of cheers and carries on. Gary, you manage to sneak across the front of the crowd quite seamlessly and make it appear like quite a large sum of coin is appearing inside that hat. And
does that encourage the other patrons to follow suit?
Yeah, it does. I mean, you do see a few extra coins hit there throughout the night. You started with none, so we'll keep that in mind towards the end of the show with your first performance there. Yeah, people kind of walk up and you get, clink, 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 clink. We get like 12 silver pieces thrown your way.
I'm gonna give him a 30% cut.
Gary?
Yeah.
Great.
I saw what he did.
Okay. Are you making one more performance, or are you calling it enough?
Maybe I'll now put those away and jump on a table and whip out my boner flute.
Oh, amazing.
Uh-oh.
And do like a rambunctious like sea chanty kind of tune, but like use the top of the table as like a percussion for hitting those extra beats to drive home some feel.
Give me a performance check with this new bone flute.
Woohoo! Oh, that's an 18.
Not bad at all. Now, this is a new instrument to you, so it does take a little bit of getting used to. And just like the bagpipes, people are starting to think, "Oh, what's this thing?" But then you find the notes, you find the right rhythm to play it, and the same kind of uplifting sort of sing-along songs make their mark, and the heels going, the bone flutes thumping along. They don't know that in the back of their minds they're being told to like give up their souls to hags right now. But they are loving the sound of what you're making right now.
Well, there's no hags around in the general vicinity,
Exactly.
so they'll be fine until the time in which they are.
Exactly. They're all loving life right now, and you make yourself quite a tidy sum of another 15 silver pieces that hit your hat.
Nice. Very good. I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna like jump off the table with a flourish.
Massive flag.
And I'm just gonna stride away. And if I see Gary on the way upstairs, I will just hand him a couple coins.
Okay.
I can't math that right now, but I'll give you a couple coins and then go up to bed.
Cool. Yeah, as you head off to bed, you see Gary, you hand him 9 coins, and I don't know if Finry's still hanging around or not, but you hear all the sailors like, more, again.
If you want more, then maybe free passage on the boat, and I'll play you all the songs that you want.
They all sort of, we'll come back to you in the morning.
Okay.
Finry was trying to write the next little bit of his book, of his memoir.
Mm-hmm.
And then the music started, and then he caught up in it for a bit, and he's like, he remembers that Bonnie mentioned embellishment, and he's like, hang on. And he squats back down to write down in his book. And he's like, the lady walked in. Gams for days. She looked like she hadn't seen a real man for a long time. dot dot dot.
Bonnie, before you all head off for a long rest, give me a persuasion.
Sure.
You got this, Bonnie. You can do it.
I really don't. My rolls have been appalling today.
That's like Finry last session of Trankasha.
Okay, so you all make your way upstairs for that long rest.
Yep.
Okay, we might have a 5-minute drinks break there and come back at 10:02.
Alright.
Okay.
Nice.
Back in a few minutes,
say-
everyone.
You say 5 minutes, but it's set 7 or 8.
7 or 8 minutes, yeah. Back at 10:02.
Yeah.
All right,
Bye.
Bye.